Episode 9, The Final War and the Closing of the Ledger. Welcome to the final unsealing. For 8 episodes, we have dismantled the lies of the Edomite scribes. We have exposed the broken calendar, the Nephilim genes, the stolen lands, and the heavily censored identity of the Hebrew patriarchs. Today, we reach the climax. Today, the historical predator finally, literally, becomes the prey. If you open the standard 66-book Bible to Genesis chapter 35, you will read about the death of Isaac. The text simply says that Isaac breathed his last, and his sons Esau and Jacob buried him. The very next chapter, Genesis 36, gives a long, peaceful genealogy of the chiefs of Edom, making it seem as though Esau just went back to Mount Seir and lived happily ever after. It is a silent fade-out, a historical cover-up. The Edomite scribes wanted you to believe that Esau lived a long, victorious life and died peacefully in his bed. But the vault is open, and when we lay the unsealed records on the table, we are confronted with the violent, bloody reality of Edom's fall. To be absolutely bare and honest with you, we have to look at the 2 greatest surviving historical records of the Hebrew bloodline, the Book of Jubilees and the Book of Jasher. And when we look at them, we find a historical collision, because one man cannot die twice. Jubilees and Jasher give 2 different accounts of Esau's death. We are not going to hide this. We are going to put them side by side, find their common ground, and extract the absolute truth. Narrative 1, Jacob's Arrow, the preemptive war. In the Book of Jubilees, the war happens immediately after Isaac dies. Jubilees 36 records that Isaac forced Esau to swear a holy oath never to attack Jacob. But the moment Isaac is in the ground, Esau breaks the oath. He marches on Jacob's tower in Hebron with 4,000 mercenaries. During the siege, Esau mocks Jacob. He says, "If the boar can change its skin and make its bristles as soft as wool, then will I observe the tie of brotherhood with thee." Realizing peace is impossible, Judah tells his father to bend his bow. Jubilees records that Jacob fires an arrow, striking Esau right in the chest, killing him instantly. The sons of Jacob then rush out, slaughter the Edomite army, and force the survivors to pay tribute. The Book of Jubilees was preserved by a sect deeply focused on the absolute militant purity of the patriarchs. In their records, Jacob himself had to be the one to strike down Esau to fulfill the prophecy of dominion. Narrative 2, Hushim's sword, the burial dispute. The Book of Jasher places Esau's death decades later. In this timeline, Esau lives to see Jacob die in Egypt. When Joseph and the 12 brothers bring Jacob's body back to the land of Canaan to bury him in the cave of Machpelah, the tomb of Abraham and Isaac, Esau and his army block the entrance. Esau claims the remaining spot in the tomb belongs to him, not Jacob. A fierce legal dispute breaks out. While they are waiting for the original deed to the tomb to be brought from Egypt, Hushim, the son of Dan, who is deaf and mute, asks what the delay is about. When he realizes Esau is disrespecting his grandfather's body, Hushim flies into a rage. Jasher records that Hushim takes a sword, strikes Esau, and cuts his head clean off. Esau's head rolls into the cave of Machpelah, while his body remains outside. A massive battle erupts right there at the funeral, and the sons of Jacob slaughter Esau's forces. The Book of Jasher focuses on the poetic justice of Esau's head, ending up in the tomb of the patriarchs, while highlighting the fierce, uncompromising loyalty of the tribal grandsons like Hushim. One man cannot die twice. So, what is the undeniable truth? Where do these 2 ancient books find their common ground? Look closely at both records. Both books agree that funerals were the flashpoints of war. Both books agree that the moment a patriarch died, whether it was Isaac or Jacob, Esau saw an opportunity to strike while the Hebrews were in mourning. Both books agree that Esau broke the treaties and brought massive military coalitions to slaughter his own brother's family. And most importantly, both books agree that the shepherd slaughtered the hunter. We have a direct contradiction: the sword of the grandson or the arrow of the patriarch. How do we detangle this? In biblical law, there is a strict protocol for finding the truth. By the mouth of two witnesses, a matter shall be established. To break this historical tie, we have to call a second witness to the stand. We have to open a third ancient record, the Testament of Judah. Judah was the lion. He was the apex warrior of the family. He was the commander on the ground during this war. And in the Testament of Judah, he gives his own deathbed, first-hand combat logs to his sons. Listen to the testimony of Judah, chapter 9. Esau, the brother of my father, came upon us with a mighty and strong people, and Jacob smote Esau with an arrow, and he was taken up wounded on Mount Seir, and as he went, he died at Adoniram. And we pursued after the sons of Esau. The second witness aligns perfectly with Jubilees. The discrepancy is resolved and the matter is established. Think about the psychology of that moment. Judah knew the rights of war and the laws of blood. Judah knew it was a curse for a nephew to strike down his uncle, but for the patriarch of Israel to strike down the patriarch of Edom, that was a divine execution. Judah, the warrior, urged his mild father to take the bow and forced him to step into his destiny. Jacob personally drew the bow. He struck Esau with a mortal wound. The Edomites tried to carry their dying patriarch away in retreat, but he bled out on the road to Mount Seir. The sons of Jacob rushed out of the tower, slaughtered the Edomite coalition, and forced the survivors to pay tribute. The Edomites were placed under the yoke of servitude. The predator became the prey, and the Edomite scribes of the Western Bible erased this entire war to hide the ultimate humiliation of their patriarch. Genesis lied. Esau did not fade away in peace. The Edomite scribes tried to erase his violent, humiliating death to hide the fact that he was struck down as a direct consequence of his own arrogance. And the armies of Edom were absolutely decimated by the sons of Israel. From the battlefields of Canaan, the narrative shifts to the courts of Egypt. We all know the story of Joseph. But Jubilees chapter 39 reveals why Joseph was able to resist the temptations of Egypt and the wife of Potiphar. Joseph was not operating on simple willpower. Jubilees says he remembered the Lord and the words which Jacob, his father, used to read from amongst the words of Abraham, that for him the punishment of death has been ordained in the heavens. Joseph had the written legal codes of Abraham memorized. Even in the deepest prisons of Egypt, and even when he was elevated to be the second most powerful man on earth, Joseph never abandoned the ancestral protocols of Shem. And as the famine swept the earth, bringing Jacob and his 70 souls down into Egypt, the Most High began to set the stage for the Exodus. Exodus hides the spiritual warfare happening behind the scenes, but Jubilees chapter 48 pulls the curtain back. When Moses returned to Egypt to deliver the Israelites, it was Prince Mastema, Satan himself, who stood up against him. Mastema actively helped the Egyptian sorcerers fight back. The Exodus was not just a physical slave revolt, it was a cosmic war between the Most High and the demonic prince who controlled the Gentile nations. And this brings us to the final seal, the ultimate bookend of the Book of Jubilees. After 50 chapters of unsealing the calendar, the bloodlines, the wars, and the covenants, the angel of the presence issues the final, uncompromising decree in Jubilees chapter 50, the Sabbath. The Edomite system changed the calendar to make you forget the feast days. They gave you Sunday worship. They gave you a lunar cycle. But the Most High declares that the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord your God. Listen to the absolute severity of Jubilees 58. Whoever desecrates that day, whoever says he will do something on it, that he will set out on a journey thereon in regard to any buying or selling, and whoever draws water thereon, and whoever takes up any burden shall die. The Western system teaches that the Sabbath was nailed to the cross. They teach that you no longer have to rest, but you now know the truth. The entire book of Jubilees was written to warn you that the Edomite system would try to make you forget the law, the Sabbaths, and the covenant. They hid your history so you would assimilate into their doomed empire. But the 400-year amnesia is over. The ledger is open. You know the 364-day calendar. You know the origin of the demons. You know the military might of your fathers. You know the death sentence pronounced over Edom. And you know the eternal command of the Sabbath. The records are back in the hands of the bloodline.
The matter is established. The ledger of the patriarchs is closed. We have seen how the predator became the prey, and how the true records of our fathers were stripped from the standard Bible to hide the ultimate humiliation of Edom. But the cover-up goes deeper than just history. It goes into the very heavens. For centuries, you have been handed a book of summaries, a filtered, pacified version of truth designed to keep you docile. Nowhere is this more deplorable than in the way they degraded the man Enoch. The book of summaries tells you Enoch simply walked with God and was seen no more, making him sound like a subservient, quiet servant who just drifted away. But the unsealed records tell a different story. Enoch didn't just walk. He witnessed the literal machinery of the universe. He was a scribe of righteousness, shown the portals of the sun and the legal sentencing of the fallen ones. They reduced a cosmic witness to a Sunday school footnote to keep you from knowing the advanced spiritual science of your own bloodline. In our next series, The Prophet's Protocol, we are going to dismantle the Book of Summaries as we reclaim the cosmic journey of Enoch, the migration of the lost tribes, and the secrets the West deemed too dangerous for a people in bondage to possess. The amnesia is over. The vault is open. And it's time to see what else they've been hiding.